Hello, hello.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are talking about, it's part 3 in our series, and we're talking about aesthetics. So maybe today primarily, let's talk about plastic surgery as a component of aesthetics. Is too much too much? How do we measure?
What's the intention?
Yeah, exactly. So is plastic surgery based on necessity or based on pressure? So we can start with that.
I have to say from the onset, it's really interesting. I grew up believing plastic surgery was wrong and so vain and so shallow.
Right.
And today I sit here in front of all of you people and I don't think that way anymore. I don't think it's vain. I don't think it's shallow. But I do ask, intention for me is one. And enough. When is it enough? Like you see those extreme cases. Extreme cases.
Yeah.
And you think, well, why? Right? And so I sit here with a changed opinion, but for me it's about intention. A big part of it is intention. And I'll personalize it because I won't generalize it to people. For me, I will not change something in my face because I don't think I fit in or I don't look good because I am a rebel by nature and I like difference. But, for example, keeping in spirit of the series and being totally honest about our bodies, a boob reduction, for example, has been a conversation for me and is an ongoing conversation for me because I've had issues around that. And I laugh because it's been a conversation on many dinner table conversations at home with my friends.
Yeah.
And so with that aspect, now, when I was younger, the intention was because I was body shamed about it and conscious. As I've gotten older, I've developed health issues around it. Do you know what I mean to say? So the intention's different.
And so, let me pose this. Maybe not necessarily with the breast reduction, but, is plastic surgery, does it stem from an insecurity before we decide that it becomes about health? So something like, getting a breast reduction now might have more to do with your health,
right,
than it does the vanity,
right,
of wearing a certain bikini top or whatever.
That would be a good perk,
right? But your reason, and so does the health component defend your decision because you feel that there's a part of you still that's plastic surgery is bad or it's vain?
So I don't think that anymore, right? But I also feel as I grow, and we've had this conversation, and we're doing this series, and with the feedback and the comments we've received in messages, it's so personal, right? And it comes back to that: who are we to judge situation? But the one thing I do want to say is, it's such a hard one to do because there is so much attached to it, like insecurity that is instilled in us, like you said, right? Like you've used that word, and the self-esteem bit of it. So that if it's instilled, and then if we make those changes, then maybe we'll get better self-esteem, which means we're more present. Like the more psychological, it's very hard to gauge what it's psychologically doing for somebody.
Yes.
So I say the intention and who we're doing it for is very important.
Right. I think that the idea of being pressured,
yes,
plays a big role because it there's a part of us that says, well, if I do this, if I get a nose job, if I do liposuction or all these things, that suddenly I'm going to belong more.
Yeah.
And I'll fit an image that is expected of me.
Right. I think what I would say when we're talking about aesthetics in general, right? Like there's plastic surgery is a big one. But I think it is more, on the one hand, we're telling our children, our girls, our boys to accept themselves as they are. But it's almost like behind the curtains, this is happening, right? And so we talk about media pressures, celebrity pressures. You have a ton of celebrities endorsing individuality, own yourself, be yourself.
But even there, the message.
But they're doing these things to their bodies.
Right, but
so it's a really,
even there, that dialogue is conflicting, because someone who's had a lot of plastic surgery is criticized for the amount of surgeries and work they've had done.
Right.
And someone who hasn't had any work done is
criticized
for that wrinkle, for the laugh line, for the double chin or whatever. And suddenly now celebrities aren't getting roles because they've aged.
Right.
So
it's a really tough one. I would really be interested to know what you as the audience has to say about this. And let's have a dialogue about it, because at the end of the day, what I would like to conclude with saying on this episode with aesthetics and everything is, with this series of body image, it really is about embracing who you are and owning it, right? And if part of that comes with an insecurity and you feel you need to do something, I get my eyebrows done because I like it and I think it makes me look nice.
Exactly.
So I think the message should be, do what makes you feel good about you and allows you to show up in every other area of your life empowered, but from within, not just externally.
Right.
Yeah. Right? I mean...
And because, the image of who you are and who you want to be is going to be received differently everywhere.
Right.
And just sort of to end that, I came across an article where a journalist sent a picture of herself to 18 different freelancers and asked them to Photoshop it. And they returned, based on their country and what was accepted, completely different images. She, in various countries, didn't even look like the same person.
Yeah.
And so it just goes to say that you can try to become a certain way, but there's always somebody who's not going to see you.
Yeah. I mean, and it would be nice. I think Lucy's going to put the link in when we in the comment section. So please have a look at that and engage in that conversation, because it's shocking and it saddened me when we.
Me too.
It saddened me, and it saddens me too. When my friends, my loved ones, feel the discord between their bodies and want to change them. And it is just, but sad, not in a pity way, and not in,
in an unfortunate way that we don't see ourselves,
and that we're so forced not to accept us as ourselves. But please let us know what your comments are. We can go on about this, as you can tell. But see you next week for series part 4, which will be the concluding series of this month, and we hope to engage with you more.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
Bye.